Hey guys, Brian with Wrenches and Rides, and we're working on our 2019 Polaris Turbo S4. We put in an Assault Industries adventure rack, and all this stuff is starting to come together. We needed a piece of storage to go underneath it, something that could be used for multiple different things, from any type of towing equipment to possibly a cooler. And we needed it to fit in here nice and fit in underneath about 12.5 inches. Now we could have adjusted this up or down, but we want to be able to put stuff on top of this rack and not get in our vision. As you can see, we have our tire mounted up high. So the only thing we really came across that worked perfectly was the Super ATV Polaris cooler. And that is sitting in here right now, and I want to give you guys a look at this. It has two rubber straps that hold the cooler closed. It's very nice in here, and the size isn't bad. We'll pull it out in a minute and take a look at it. We've used it sitting here in the shop, not with the motor running, and it has some amazing ability to keep ice in it. But this thing fits perfectly. So if you have an adventure rack, I got a light under here, but I mean, we have maybe a 1/4 inch to spare. It is absolutely perfect, comes in and out very easy, and probably takes 2 minutes to install. So let's get this thing out and take a look at it. So it takes seconds to take it out, real easy. This thing fits in perfectly and leaves very little room wasted around the edges. Now what it does have in it is obviously a cooler, so there's a lot of space that you lose on the inside compared to what the size of the box is. And I'll go over that in a little bit, but you do have a nice rubber edge that's going to keep this waterproof. And then on the inside, there's a drain that you can pull. And if you're going to use it as a cooler, that's pretty much a must. It will drain down right through the bed and really pretty easy. When you get this thing, at first it'll come in two boxes. One with just the cooler and a second small box that will hold all the mounting hardware. This mounting hardware is completely adjustable. We just went through and mounted the backs on in the highest position that they could be in, which actually worked out perfect for us. Now, when you mount the fronts, you're gonna wanna mount that very loose. Then you go in and remove 2 bolts from the bed of the Polaris and put in 2 new bolts with some brackets from Super ATV. When you put those in place, leave them loose too, because you just wanna slide this cooler in and then connect everything up in the front and then tighten everything up so that you know exactly where everything should be. And then when you go to slide it in and out again, it'll fit in perfectly and there won't be any messing with that pin. Other than that, this thing has been amazing for ice. First night we got it, we had some friends over at the shop. We created a mess with some beer. We put some beer and snow in here just to keep things cool. Probably a case and a half of beer later, we were still throwing more beer in here, and it got ugly. So all I can say is I came out the next morning to clean up. There was still snow in here, and that's a pretty big feat for a cooler. I know everybody's got these very expensive coolers out there that'll do things like that, but in this case, it was nice to see that there was still snow in there. This cooler is priced just north of $200, which makes it one of the more inexpensive coolers that's out there, but it still has a ton of quality packed in it, and this thing will take a beating on the trail, that's for sure. Now, if you're gonna use this as storage, you are losing a little bit of the area on the inside because it does have the insulation or hollow areas around it, but it is still well sturdy enough to throw any kind of shackles or ropes, winching equipment in here, no issue. Now, as far as putting something in here, and I don't condone drinking and driving on the trail, but it's a good example. Can fits no issue. If you had a larger bottle or aluminum type can, that just hits. So this is gonna be the height that you have in here if you wanna stand something up. A normal soda can, definitely gonna hit, not going to fit, but there's plenty of room to lay everything down. And you do have a flat top here again with the rubber around it, so it's going to keep any water or anything like that inside. The drain is nice. You do have 2 cup holders on the back. Not really sure why, because in a RZR, unless you're just sitting around, I guess you can pop them in there as you're taking a break on the trail. But this thing closes up nice. and works really well. As far as dimensions on the inside, I'm going to put that in the description below and let you guys read that. This thing has been amazing for what we've needed it for and what we'll use it for. Again, I go back to options. You can use it as a cooler, we can use it as storage, it doesn't matter, flip-flop back around. We can take it in and take it out really quickly, so we can do whatever we'd like, and very cost effective. So I'll also put a link to Super ATV in the bottom. Cool unit. If you're looking for something like this, I would highly suggest it for the quality and the price. I've had a lot of Polaris stuff, the actual factory stuff, and it's not made as nice as this is. I really appreciate that. Guys, make sure you give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.